These.
That looks better now.
Does it look better?
Let me think about it. Got my thinking glasses on.
You gotta do the
See, my eyes are fine. My glasses don't make any difference at all, which means my eyes, they're perfect. Hold on, I'm gonna run off the Amazon box. So this is Angie's Civic Type R. We're actually doing a muffler delete here, and we're now going to do a resonator delete to make it a little bit louder. She wants a little bit more Honda sound out of it. Alright, tell me what you think. Now you've had a time to drive it.
It's so much better. We first just took the 2 mufflers out, and it was like, okay, but then when you take this larger resonator out, because like, you know, when you're on the street and there's a Subaru STI next to you, and he flips the throttle, and you're like, yeah,
I haven't got
no
anything.
More. I can flip my throttle and be like, yeah, I got something.
You got something too. Awesome.
It sounds finally better.
Fantastic. Let's get a quick sound clip of you taking off. No, those are, the question is, what are they? You have a coffee and a breakfast sandwich courtesy of this guy.
Aww,
see?
And a breakfast.
Everybody loves you.
That's so nice.
Alright, this is actually a good friend of mine's car. This is obviously a Civic hatchback with a B-series motor in that we actually built a while ago. High compression B18C, a few bolt-ons, obviously skunk to a valve train, cam gears, ported into manifold, a custom built 4-into-1 header, and one of our LHT twin loop exhausts. Just to give you an idea, time-wise, I believe we built this about 6 years ago. Give you an idea what that looks like. It's one of our LHT slash cut tips. But this is a stainless exhaust with the twin loop, and it definitely took a lot of the noise out of it. Still sounds good when you jump on it. Well, what is it here for? Is anybody gonna shout out and say what kind of seats they are? Alright, so it's here for maintenance. We're doing timing belt, water pump, spark plugs, all the fluids, belts. This is actually his daily driver, so it gets a lot of use. And of course, maintenance is a big key, so all of the fluids and then maintenance is going to get done. Alright, let's see if it still runs. Sweet. Give me a couple of hours so I can listen to the tailpipe. Car's already warm, by the way, so we're not going to rev up on a cold motor. I know someone's going to comment. It's still pretty condensating in here. It's pretty cold. Alright, I did a full tune-up. Spark plugs, time belt, water pump, fluids, brake fluid, clutch fluid, put a new air filter on it, found a couple of vacuum caps that were kind of old and dry rotted, that one over there, replaced that. Still gotta let the motor warm up all the way and we'll go over it again. And a lifter adjustment. This has skunk stage 2 cams, so they're a little rattly and needed a valve adjustment, so that sounds pretty good right now. So other things that's going on today, the white car's finished. This Mustang is here. We've got to redo this pipe. This pipe is like a formed pipe. It doesn't fit well. You see how it's pulled back towards the motor. It's actually pressing down on that hose and forcing this. It's almost closed like 30%. You put your hand under here. It's pushing down on that. Well, this is a 3.5 and the mass air is a 4, so we need to basically just remake this piece. We're going to kick this over. You can see it's kind of cocked away from the fan towards the motor, so we're going to fix that. We're going to make it all out of aluminum and just put a straight coupler here and a straight coupler here, see if we make something kind of nice. This S2000 is here for maintenance, as well as full brakes, pads, rotors, lines. It's got a couple of wheel studs off. wheel bearings too, put a full set of wheel bearings in it and go over it and see if there's anything else that needs to be addressed while it's here. So this week is pretty much all a bunch of little stuff. Alright, so this is what I built right here. Did segment bends, pie cuts, so we can keep it nice and tight and actually do a compound bend, and then made a flare right there from 3.5 up to 4, so it's got a cone. So now that fits in there. We'll put a coupler on each end, which that's a lot smoother than that. See, that bend kind of bends back on itself, it doesn't fit. It's probably not going to flow the best, so who knows, it might increase airflow, might make a little bit more power. So now it's time to clean this and start welding. Alright, so I got our piece finished and welded, smoothed out the inside. This goes from 3.5, it flares up right there and goes up to 4. Basically made a cone right there. So let's go ahead and get some couplers and we'll put it on. Alright, we are all done. Got more room now. It's not squashing that pipe. It's got room all the way around. It's got room around the radiator. We've got some slack in the math harness. So that's it, we're good. Did all the studs, it looks like it.
Yeah.
So that one got all brand new studs, new bearing, brakes all around, stainless lines. Of course, this is going to get a brake flush and then bleed the system. Alright, just dropped off this morning. This is a customer that just bought this 30,000 mile 2002. But again, like we often say, one of the things that lets them down is the tops. You know, it's probably the original top. It's got a little bit of wear there. Hey, it looks a little gray. So this one's getting a fresh Honda OEM top that is going on there today. And then right after that, we have another car that just got dropped off. This car is getting the FX300. It needs a clutch, and our prices honestly are so good on the FX300. It's only a small amount more to go from OEM to the 300. So not only is it a stronger clutch, if you do decide to do any performance upgrades, your clutch is already in there. Alright, top is over here, clutch is over there, and there's George. You know him. Okay, in this video I'm going to do a how to make your S2000 shift better. The transmission is a pretty good transmission in the S2000, but it feels notchy, and over time there's a few other issues. Sometimes it won't go into reverse, you push the shifter down, it kind of sticks. I want to show you some tips and tricks how to make it shift fantastic. I see by how much is coming out of the fill, it's probably slightly overfilled. Usually you just want it to drip out of here slowly, and as you see, it's pouring out. I've tried a whole bunch of different fluids. I'm pretty critical of the transmission. Once I've had a smooth shifting transmission, I really want everything to feel as good as I can. So this is it. This is what we've tried. This is what I've settled on. I've tried Redline and GM Synchro Max and the Honda and a few others, but this is what I use. Put your comment below if you found a transmission fluid that you like. If you want to share your experiences, that's what this channel is about. After all, if you've got a dumb comment too, go ahead and leave that, because it seems like there's no shortage of those. This pump's about 10 bucks, so I'll put the link to this pump so you can get that and know you're ready ahead of time. So we're going to go ahead and pump this in. Alright, so once you get down to a steady drip, you can put the plug back in. Those hand pumps don't put a whole ton of fluid in there, so you're not really going to risk overfilling it. There is the new top. Right now George is just cleaning all the panels. Takes the dust off, puts a little bit of shine on it, makes it look nice. Just shows that we care. So look at that. Beautiful. like the finishing touches, isn't it?
Huh?
It's like the finishing touches. What do you think?
You know what?
It makes it look like brand
My
new.
wife was the one that said, you gotta get a new top. I don't like it.
Well, it's the only thing that makes the car have any kind of age is the top.
Yeah.
Alright, so this car is here for an oil change. We did his supercharger kit back, what, July time?
Yeah, end of July.
July
2017.
There's another car making over 400 horsepower, so now you've had it for 6 months. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the car?
It's a fun car. It definitely needs a supercharger. I mean, it doubles the power. It's quick. It's quick. You gotta floor it. You gotta take it to, you know, red line to really feel all the power,
All the potential.
all the potential. But it does have a lot more torque in the mid ranges from, like, you know, 3,000 up.
Yeah.
Absolutely more torque. You don't even have to like really downshift to like pass cars anymore.
Yeah.
As before when it didn't have the supercharger.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's a fun car.
Fantastic.
It's great.
And we did the FX300 clutch as well on this car, right? So
Yeah,
now you've had
yeah.
time to own that for a while. What do you think of the clutch? Is it easy to deal with?
Oh yeah, it's
Light?
super soft, super. And I drive probably 60 miles a day.
Yeah.
Traffic, about an hour in traffic, at least once a day, and it's super soft.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's not hard or anything like that.
That's our main selling point. A lot of heavy duty clutches that handle the power are heavy to push down, which gives you a lot of fatigue if you do get stuck in traffic. So that's one of the reasons that we push this clutch. Is it's the closest thing to OEM feel, and it handles, you know, 450 horsepower. So great. I appreciate you bringing the car back for an oil change. It's good to see people stay on top of the maintenance. I'm putting a video out, and it's all about oil changes. It's going to be up here soon. It's probably be aired by the time you see this. But I can't stress oil changes enough. And like I just described to him, make sure you get the Honda OEM filter. That's the larger filter. I push this, but I have to keep drumming it in. We get people coming in with a little tiny filter. It's no good for the S. So great, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
We'll take care of your car and we'll keep it running. Fantastic. All right, so the question is, what is all this stuff for? What do you think this guy does? Think he does oil changes for a living? Okay, so this car has several dings. Kerry's going over this right now and going through and getting out the ones that stand out the most. So I'll go over that when he's finished. So now we have the transmission up. I can see why the clutch felt really rough. Just pushing the clutch down, you're actually sliding the bearing over this shaft of the transmission. And you see it's so dry, it's actually got rust on it. Also on the shaft here, it's orange with rust. And you can see on this side too, this is the bearing. It's absolutely bone dry. So it's had an aftermarket clutch, or is it aftermarket? I can't tell.
It's kind of like a Honda clutch.
Oh no, it's Honda. It's got a Honda stamp up on the pressure plate, but it's definitely been replaced at some point, so we'll see what it looks like in there. Okay, so we got the flywheel off. Notice it's a replacement motor. You see the stamp here, it's a different VIN. Notice it's got a leaking main seal there. We put one of these pictures up just recently, and somebody said that it's usually the oil pan. Well, in our experience, it's coming from here. It's the main seal. See how wet it is here? And it's dry here. It's not bad, but it's just starting to leak. And now's the perfect time to do it. We don't charge any additional labor, we just charge for the part. So we're gonna go ahead and change that before putting the flywheel back on there. Okay, so I cleaned it, hit it with some Scotch-Brite, got it nice and clean. Now it's got some fresh Honda grease on it, and also the bearing is greased, so when it goes back together, this thing is gonna feel really slick. I'm sure the customer will be excited about this one. So that one, we're gonna go give it a quick test drive, make sure the clutch is adjusted correctly. And this one just got dropped off. This is our FX300 for tomorrow. It's a good job we know how to do them, because we do a lot. All right, George, let's not get these mixed up. That one, the clutch is already done. That one, we're doing the clutch next. Let's make sure we don't mix them up, because if not, we'll say, wow, look at this, it's got an FX300 in already. So this is the one we just did the clutch, and we did the shifter rebuild. The shifter is awesome, by the way. It really is an improvement. I want to mention it to the customer and say, we did something to it, let me know how it feels. and then I'll try and report back, and if he gives me the permission, maybe I'll copy his response and put it in the video by the time this goes up. So this is next. This customer has ideas in the future of doing a Kraftwerk supercharger kit. So he's doing it little by little to kind of ease the financial burden. So clutch is first, then he's going to do the header, and then of course the supercharger kit with exhaust and tune. Okay, so this customer came from 3 hours away. 3 hours. It's 8 o'clock, so that means he got in the car at 5 o'clock and probably, you know, was driving in the dark. First thing we do is get that clipboard, we put it right on the hood, right here, and start right. No, we don't do that. So this car is getting all maintenance. He just bought it. It's got 30-something thousand miles. We're going to go over it, do the fluids, check everything out. I know it's got a master cylinder leak. You've seen our video about doing that. In fact, we've already got a comprehensive list of what he is doing. But again, it's so humbling to think someone drove 3 hours, and when he met us, he kind of recognizes me and goes, I know you from the videos. So that's a great feeling that someone has that kind of trust. So what do we do with that trust? We make the car have the best experience it can, and we make sure the customer is happy. It just flashed up there, 37,000 miles. So it is getting the oil, the fluids, diff, trans. I noticed the bumper doesn't quite line up. We're going to remove the bumper and check out all the clips. Also, I said the headlights are kind of crooked. One point's up in the sky, one point's on the ground, that kind of thing. So we're going to go ahead and address that too. All right, not much of an exciting video, but just kind of giving you an idea of what goes on in the shop. So these are our sub-thread bolts that we're putting back in. What do you think that silver stuff is on the threads there? Any guesses? So yes, just in case you can't tell, that's me. I'm actually sitting at Estra's desk. It's actually kind of cool. Can't you tell it's a chick's desk? First off, everything's all nicely organized. And there's a mirror. That's kind of cool. Chicks love mirrors. And she bought this thing here. Gotta love the color. And this thing here. But you can tell it's a chick's desk. It's got a little glass, cute flower thing. Everything all nicely organized. Paperwork organized. Phone would have messed up. Candy dish. If this was my desk, that would be empty. I mean, day one it'd be empty. Like if you filled that up, by the end of the day, actually about halfway through the day, it'd be empty. She's had that in there for a while. By the way, this was a nice gift from Dawn Belcher. So she still uses that, Dawn. If you're watching, she still uses that. And look at our floor. Our floor is still looking pretty good, by the way. In fact, it's looking fantastic. We haven't vacuumed it or cleaned it or anything. There's a vacuum there, and it just hangs out.